They warned me, of course. Everyone did. Commander Ryle, grizzled and half cyborg, took one look at the bioscan results and muttered, "You don't want to mess with that one. She drinks people." Literally. Dr. Kwan was more clinical. Her biochemistry is predatory. She's a hybrid. Extraterrestrial genome, grafted onto a post-human template. Blood sustains her. Emotion anchors her. She is, in every quantifiable sense, dangerous. Even AI Persa, who was supposed to be objective, delivered the advisory with a flicker of artificial unease. Subject designated Zera. 9 exhibits behavioral anomalies. Refrain from extended, unshielded contact. But none of that stopped me. Maybe I've always been an idiot for beautiful monsters. They found her on the derelict station orbiting Epsilon Delta 5, in a cryopod rigged with centuries-old tech and wrapped in the kind of biometric locks that scream "do not open." So naturally they opened it. She wasn't like anything I had ever seen. Tall, luminous, silver-veined skin that shimmered like moonlight on oil. Fangs, yes, but delicate, precise. Not the snarling maws of the feral night spawn we hunted during the Mars breach. Her eyes, 2 rings of glowing violet, held neither hunger nor hate, just loneliness. She looked at me like I was the first warm thing she'd seen in centuries, and I volunteered to be her handler. The first week, I kept a weapon near me at all times. She never made a move, not when I installed the dampening cuffs, not when we scanned her neural rhythms, not even when Persa activated the plasma restraints during a false alarm. She sat quietly, watched us all with detached curiosity, and spoke only to me. "I do not wish to harm," she said on day 3. Her voice was like bells underwater. "But you keep expecting me to, because you could," I said, studying her through the observation glass. "So could you," she replied. Touché. Her real name wasn't Zera 9. That was the designation we gave her, like labeling a star or a bomb. But one night, during a lunar power outage when we shared a backup generator and some heat packets, she told me her name was Aelith. "I come from a world you no longer remember," she said. "One your species fled from after the Skyfall. You're saying we used to be neighbors?" I asked, half joking. "We were more than that," she said, eyes flickering with some lost pain. "Your ancestors gave us the gift of blood. In return, we gave them the dream of stars. You're not making this easier to explain to command." She smiled, sharp teeth and all. But it was the first real smile I'd seen from her. I stopped carrying the weapon on day 9. She hadn't fed. Not once. Not a drop of blood. We'd given her synthetic substitutes, bioengineered plasma, even neural stim 4 drips meant to simulate emotional energy transfer. Nothing worked. "She's dying," Dr. Kwan whispered. "Her cell regeneration is slowing. If she doesn't feed soon." "No," I said. "There has to be another way." "Would you volunteer?" Kwan asked, raising an eyebrow. And I didn't answer. Not yet. By day 13, I'd memorized the way Aelith looked at the stars. Not like they were distant, but like they were old friends who'd forgotten her name. We'd talk late into the artificial night cycle. She told me about her people, the Nitharari, how they'd once sung to planets, drank the lifeblood of dying stars, loved across galaxies. Now extinct. All of them. Except her. "They made me a vessel," she said, not proudly. The last. I remember everything. I carry all of them in me. And it hurts. I wanted to hold her hand. Instead, I asked her why she hadn't fed. Why she was letting herself waste away. Her answer haunted me. Because feeding without love is consumption. And I am tired of being a monster. Day 14 was when I broke. She collapsed mid-sentence, her skin flickering between forms. One moment smooth and humanoid, the next vein with glowing fissures like cracked porcelain. Her body was rejecting the starvation, or maybe the sorrow. I knelt beside her as alarms rang, ignoring Persa's panicked advisory protocols and Kwan's shouting through the comms. I touched her face. Her skin was cold, fractured, dimming. "I don't want to die here," she whispered. "Alone." "You're not," I said. "Not anymore." And I offered her my wrist. It didn't feel like pain. It felt like falling into a memory that wasn't mine, like starlight poured through my veins, like every person she had ever loved, mourned, buried, or sung to, all of them passed through me in a single heartbeat. She drank gently, reverently. When it was over, she cradled me like I was the fragile one. "You loved me," she said, surprised. "I still do." The next few days were chaos. I was quarantined, evaluated, scanned, but I wasn't infected. I wasn't altered. I was connected. I could feel her, even when we weren't in the same room. Her loneliness had become mine, and my warmth had become hers. They wanted to transfer her to the deep labs, weaponize her, dissect her. I refused. "I'll resign," I told Ryle. "If they take her, I'm done." "Your compromise," he said, shaking his head. "Maybe," I admitted, "but maybe that's what she needed. Not a handler, a human." They gave us one more week before the vote. Aelith used it to make something beautiful. She sang to the station. Literally sang. Frequencies we couldn't hear, but which Persa detected altering the resonance of the hull, repairing microfractures, calming volatile systems. "She's healing the station," Quan whispered, watching in awe. "No," I said, my voice tight. "She's saying thank you." On the final night, we watched Earthrise from the observation deck. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Her skin was warmer now, softer, human, almost. "They'll never trust me," she said. "They don't have to," I replied. "I do." "Why?" I turned to look at her, this ancient, terrifying, beautiful being who had been created as a vessel for extinction and chose compassion instead. "Because they warned me you were dangerous." I said, "But all I ever saw was someone who wanted to be loved." She stayed. "And so did I. Not because we won the vote. We didn't. Command classified her a neutralized threat, but refused to grant her full autonomy. She was to remain under observation. So we built a life inside the walls. We grew a garden in hydroponics. We turned our nights into galaxies of whispered stories. And sometimes when she grew cold, I let her feed, not from desperation, but from love. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. And for a creature born of blood and memory, that was enough. For both of us.